Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Do you whistle breathing in or blowing out?
Blown out, bro.
I whistle breathing in, dude. Is that weird?
That's how I started when I was like 12. I used to be a
I,
breather inner.
you would think that I'd be able to also do it blowing out, but it's a different mechanism, dude.
You know what, man? That's how you start. You start by breathing in, and then you
But
blow out.
I have pretty good control.
Well,
The
here's
breathing
thing.
in.
Here's the truth. If your mouth is in a position to make a whistle sound breathing in, it's also in the same position to whistle breathing out.
That's what I've heard, but it won't do it. Watch. In. I got
You're almost there. You
It's
just
a
gotta practice it, dude.
lackluster whistle, dude.
It's like I tell my 5-year-old, you just gotta give a little whistle.
Dude, I'm
Give me a
36 years
whistle.
in of trying it, and it's just not doing it.
You know what, man? That sounds like a personal problem, dude.
What about like
Hey.
can you do the lip thing?
No.
I can't do it, man.
I'm not a dock worker, bro. I don't care how much Carhartt I wear. It's stolen valor.
I'm wearing Carhartt hoping that I can do it, but I can't.
Hey, Vinny, we're back, and it's another week, and it's another buck bag. Buck bag. Buck bag.
What does he say? I'm back.
And this week, today, Tuesday, February 4th, Marvel Studios has dropped the Fantastic Four trailer. Now, this is a long time coming.
Long time.
I know that the Fantastic Four, for you specifically, is very close to your heart. So I'm very eager to see what you think about the trailer. I know you've already watched it. I've already watched it. We're going to watch it here
Yeah.
to experience it together. But I just have to say, I have some thoughts.
Okay.
I hope you have some thoughts. I hope everybody, if you're out there in the chat, let us know what you think of the Fantastic Four trailer. You know, there's not anybody in the chat, so that's not important.
I might change
but-
that.
You might change that. But let's talk Fantastic Four. Why don't you drop that trailer? Let's watch it, and then we can discuss.
All right. Sorry, I was trying to get someone in the chat. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. You won't be able to hear it, but I will, and I'll be rock hard. Ben Grimm. Here we go.
Time.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of
Oh,
that.
beautiful, dude.
Bear reference.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
Dude, I've never seen her before, and I love her. Vanessa
Dude, she's
Cudi.
from the Mission Impossible movies, dude. She's
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
All right, so first steps. These are going to be our first steps. Right off the bat, what did you think of the trailer? Again, it's a teaser. It's a teaser trailer.
It's a teaser. You know all I'm looking for is Ben Grimm, and the second he came out, and just that scene alone of him cooking and like actually having like a likable character to him
Yeah.
is already far exceeding my expectations. The last few movies, he's just been a grumpy little fucking rock bitch, dude. And this one, he seems like he's still having fun. I'm sure that he's still gonna have the dilemma of him turning into a rock and not being too happy about it, but I feel like those other movies just kind of made him a little bitch, and I'm really, really liking it so far. The stylizing of everything and the 60s feel to it, I love. I watched a few like YouTube videos breaking down all the Easter eggs in this, so I have a little bit. I'm going to be stealing a little bit from those today, but overall, I'm very excited, and I'm kind of scared that I'm so excited because I'm scared that it may not live up to the expectation I'm giving it. But I'm going to say 9 out of 10 so far, man.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it suffers from what all teaser trailers suffer from, which is you don't really have context for anything. But yeah, I thought Ben Grimm, I think, is going to be really the heart of the story, and the reason I think that is because a majority of that trailer is given to that scene between Ben Grimm and Herbie. Now, the cynical person might say they're trying to sell toys, and that is probably true.
I'm buying.
But I love, like, Herbie is a cool, like, Herbie was a character from the animated series because back in the day they didn't want to have Johnny Storm because they didn't want kids lighting themselves on fire. And
wow.
So Herbie was a character that kind of replaced that. But man, what a great character, like a little like side piece, you know, if you will, for that story. And the retro futurism is not something that when this movie, you know, when they announced it, they did a sizzle reel, I think D23, that kind of showed the Future Foundation, and it was kind of an ad for the Future Foundation, and it showed a lot of that retro futurism. So at that point, you kind of understand, like, yeah, that's what they're going for. But I would have never guessed in a million years that would be the first introduction to the Fantastic Four in the MCU. It makes a lot of sense. You know, I don't know. Again, I haven't read a ton of. I've read some of the Hickman, I think it was, Fantastic Four stuff.
Yeah.
That you gave me. I read some of the Allred stuff. The Allred stuff, that's kind of like what it seems like they're going for here, where it's like that retro futuristic thing, but it makes sense into why, you know, up until now in the MCU we haven't seen Reed Richards. He's not really a character. I mean, he's the smartest man in the Marvel universe, so him not being around in the MCU up until now doesn't make sense, but this does make sense. I'm not really, so I don't know, like, I like Pedro Pascal enough. I don't see him as Reed Richards, but again, I don't know, you know, I wanted John Krasinski really bad as Reed Richards. I don't know that there is a perfect casting for that character. You know, and my thing with Pedro Pascal is mostly like he's in every big kind of tentpole franchise,
especially nowadays.
Movies.
Yeah, the
Last
stuff
of
that I
Us,
saw.
Mandalorian. You know, he was in Game of Thrones. He's in this now, and he was just in Gladiator 2, which I thought was an awesome movie. I know a lot of people should.
Yeah, I didn't see that yet.
I thought it was good, dude.
The thing I was watching today was talking about how he's like the current day, like movie dad, or like TV show dad. Like I guess it's based off the Last of Us, but I wasn't excited when they announced that he was
Mandalorian too.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was going to be good, but so far I'm in. John Krasinski. I was sold for that. I thought that was going to be incredible, and then I saw him in what movie was that? Was it not Doctor Strange?
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
Was it okay? Yeah. I didn't really care for him. Like, it was cool. I kind of like that they killed him off. Spoilers. I guess the whole concept of this one is that it's kind of in the multiverse area, and this is like a multiverse version of the Fantastic Four that's separate from anything, and they're going to kind of tie that all together.
Well, this is exactly how we get to Secret Wars.
Yeah,
this is exactly. I mean, and in one of the things, I think you sent me the video. I watched some of it with the Easter eggs. I didn't watch the whole thing, but one of the things they talked about is when he's in the chalkboard doing stuff, he's trying to figure out the multiverse,
the wormhole,
bridge.
And it says one in, one out, and then it even says multiverse under it.
So that's like, a lot of people have kind of crapped on the multiverse. I feel like up until now, the MCU hasn't really known what they want to do with the multiverse. They kind of put their foot in the lake of, you know, Kang the Conqueror and then all that stuff with the actor outside of the movies happened. They fired him. You know, Quantumania was like a really whacked out movie that wasn't very good. And, you know, the fact that Ant-Man can beat the one true, like, Kang the Conqueror was kind of a weird thing. And then up until this point also, like, Doctor Strange has kind of been the one to open the portal to a multiverse. Yeah. And one of the things I really like, so going back really quick to Multiverse of Madness, at the time I love Multiverse of Madness. I still like Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister, dude.
A lot. It's a very Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
But those scenes with like John Krasinski and like all those heroes in the alternate dimension, I just hate it now. I think it's stupid, and I think it's just peppered in there for fan service, and to be like, we know the fans want John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Sue and Reed Richards. and here's your taste, but then we're gonna kill him, and they're just like a stunt casting. But maybe not. Maybe that's our taste, and maybe, dude, who knows how crazy these movies get? If they want to get nuts, John Krasinski could very well show up as another Reed Richards, and that's one thing I do like about Fantastic Four. It's like what was the All Red one where Reed goes into a reality where it's all him?
Yeah, dude. It's like the I forgot what the term of it is, but it's pretty much just like the Council of Reeds or something. It's so insane.
Sick.
Yeah, and the just the ability for them to do whatever they want with this multiverse thing is smart.
Yeah.
It could be done really, really bad because there's like they could literally do anything.
Well, they just need direction. They need direction of like what is the purpose? Leading up into like we had 10 years of basically the Infinity Saga building up to the showdown with Thanos. So once that happened, it was fully justified, fully understood. He was the big bad. They did such an amazing job with Thanos. Gave us 4-hour movie basically about and I even thought, like, I was a huge fan of Infinity Gauntlet, and I was really bummed that they weren't going to do the Infinity Gauntlet story.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you watched any of Agnes All Along. That was, or no, was it Agnes?
No, I didn't see it. I think I put it on the first episode.
Lady Death is in.
Okay.
She's the villain of the. It's Aubrey Plaza plays Lady Death. So, I was a little bit bummed.
Does that tie into Morbius? Is that Lady Death?
Yeah, Morbius is coming, and I think he's coming in. There's a show called Ironheart, and he's being played by Sacha Baron Cohen. Is the way I understand.
Okay.
So Morbius is there. I think we're going to eventually get into the Midnight Suns of it all, and that like element, the horror element. So I think that Multiverse of Madness kind of played with that. But up until now, it's been kind of rudderless in how we're going to present the multiverse. It's up until now, it's been used as, I really hated the way the multiverse was used in Spider-Man No Way Home. I thought the movie was cool. The movie was enjoyable. But the scene where like Doctor Strange and Peter are, it's like, oh, I want to, and then I want MJ to remember me, and nobody, like, it was just, I don't know. I like, it really kind of infantilized Doctor Strange for me. So I don't know. There's a way that you can justify everything, and if like this is clearly going to get us to do more, and it's clearly going to get us to Secret Wars, and so I'm interested to see what that looks like, and I am intrigued. I like the style of this. I like the look of it. I thought Ben Grimm was cool. I like that actor. I'm a huge fan of the Bear.
Yeah.
And even whether it was intentional or not, but the scene with him cooking, I felt like was kind of a wink and a nod to that, but done in a really clever way. I'm intrigued at how Galactus plays into everything. I'm intrigued who's John Malkovich in this story.
Yeah. So I don't think you said you didn't watch that whole Easter egg.
I didn't watch it
trailer
long
thing.
enough for them to theorize who John Malkovich was.
Okay, yeah.
Now.
They're kind of theorizing that it could either be like a weird version of the Mole Man, and maybe that's like I don't think it's going to be the Mole Man. I forgot the name of the character, but there's like a henchman of Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially he could be that, and he could just be like the person coming in to kind of disrupt the Fantastic Four for Doom when he's in the background. Because Robert Downey Jr. has already been cast as Doctor Doom. We just don't know when and where, right?
I imagine he'll have to show up in this movie at some point. I'm sure it'll be an end credit. I'm sure he'll be lying in the shadows. He'll be kind of the, if you look at how Thanos was used in Avengers, at the very end where, he turns and just smiles at the camera. And then in, Guardians, they peppered him in, was kind of like shoehorned in. And then Age of Ultron at the end, he turns and just says, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I envision that this version of Doom is going to be.
Which the pop for that's going to be incredible, dude. At the end of the movie, if that happens, people are going to freak the fuck out.
Oh, dude. It's going to, it's really a risky move doing the RDJ as Doom. I think it's...
I kind of like it.
I like it, too.
I like the fact that, the Doom figure is obviously, it's pretty much Reed Richards, but with, an evil... something happens and he takes a turn. And the concept of maybe this Doctor Doom could potentially be, a Stark gone bad would be really cool. I don't know.
I don't think it should be connected to Stark at all.
No?
I think it should just be its own thing. I think Victor Von Doom should be Victor Von Doom. So that's why I'm saying, it's risky because... you know, people have fallen in love with Tony Stark, and the sole reason is because of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
So now you're turning that on its head, which is what I like about it. And like, the one thing, Doom is the one character that I know you and I are friends, and it seems like a lot of the people online, once they got Fantastic Four back, was like, cool. Now we can see a proper Doom. They've never done them. You know, the Fantastic Four movie from 2005 is campy as all hell.
Yeah.
But there's it's a fun movie to throw on.
It's almost more watchable than the latest one that we had.
100%, dude.
Like that
100%.
one
I mean,
is fuck,
Yeah.
dude. And they made his character so bitchy and just like just a
well, it wasn't Doctor Doom, dude.
it wasn't. It was
Dr.
just
Doom.
some like fucking hacker that was pissed off at the world, and I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I
Doom has to be, dude. Doctor Doom has to be the parallel of Reed Richards, dude.
yeah, and he wasn't in that.
And you have to do the Doom. I was really hoping, and I'm kind of hoping that Doom more is just Books of Doom, or it's highly influenced by Books of Doom, because I always said Doctor Doom deserves his own movie. And I think if you followed the Books of Doom, if you followed Victor Von Doom, you know, and so much of like modern villainy is like, well, they're redeemable. They have a reason for why, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's one great thing about Thanos. They did that a little bit, but it was like, you know, the thing about the quandary of Thanos was like, okay, through a certain prism, is he wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, for
you know,
sure, dude.
That's the great dilemma for and turning that and making the audience kind of forced to reckon with that, I think, is what made Doom Thanos such a great character. But Doom has to, I don't know, man. Doom has the ability to be one of the greatest on-screen villain icons of all time. Up there with Darth Vader, you know, up there with what's his name from Harry Potter, Voldemort, like.
Oh yeah.
But you have to have an actor that has the gravitas to do that, and Robert Downey Jr. is that guy. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This trailer definitely, and the great thing about it is we've got 5 months till it comes out, so we don't have to wait that long.
Yeah, I wish it was sooner, man. That
Yeah.
the trailer got me so hyped, but we're gonna get a few more trailers going forward,
Yeah.
and if anything,
Maybe
I might.
not. Maybe
Huh?
not, dude. Maybe they're keeping. I feel like they have to. Like, this movie has a lot of weight on it, and I think it's going to break open a lot of where they're going. If they were smart, then all of this stuff, like, because Marvel for the last basically since Endgame has been kind of running at a deficit, dude.
Yeah.
And so this would be a good way to
Just
set it on a
Disney
new
in general,
trajectory.
dude.
Yeah, I mean movies in general, but this would
Yeah.
be a great way to, you know, kind of change the trajectory of where it's going. So I'm intrigued, dude. I hope they get deep with the Fantastic Four lore. I hope they really dive in. I mean, Fantastic Four has such a rich history, and I love the
Back
stylization
from like
of it
this.
again.
When did it start? 64? No.
Yeah, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, dude, are the
Yeah.
ones who created it way back in the day, and you know, I think that thing you watched talked about how Jack Kirby was at DC and Marvel had almost gone bankrupt, and then they got him back, and then they created the Fantastic Four. I guess there's some discrepancy on who really created it between Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Yeah, but the thing that I watched was talking about how Jack Kirby kind of made Ben Grimm like a version of himself.
Yeah.
Smokes cigars. He's Jewish. Yeah, it was really cool. And then the thing that I watched, I wish I remembered the name of the guy because his videos are like it's kind of wacky. Like he talks to his
Let's
dog.
shout him out because
Yeah.
I think we're drawing a lot from him, and that's who I watched too. And I've watched a bunch of his videos.
I've watched so many of his videos. He's great.
There's also an account called New Rock Stars that they go deep into a lot of that stuff when trailers drop. It's called.
Yeah, and I didn't realize Jack Kirby was in DC, came to
It's
Marvel.
called- The account we're referencing is called Screen Crush.
Screen
Great gimmick, like he's supposedly at like an old Blockbuster
Yeah.
or movie rental store. I don't know about the dog character, but
But it's fun. I
It's fun.
hated it at first, and then there was like one time the dog kind of made me laugh, and I was like, "All right, I'm in." So
the level at which they go, and
Yeah.
it's a minute and a half trailer, and the stuff they're able to pull is incredible. But
yeah,
the
the
stuff I like
30-minute
about that-
clip about it, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, he's also giving you the history of the Fantastic
Mm-hmm.
Four and really well done stuff. So shout out Screen Crush.
Yeah.
Me and Vince like it what it is that you do.
I subscribe, dude.
You know, are you gonna go see Captain America Brave New World, the new. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see
I,
it. It looks-
I'm not excited. Like I'm not as excited for that as I am for this.
Yeah.
I saw that there was a trailer that came out today for that, and I didn't even
Yeah.
watch it. So
I love Harrison Ford, so I'll go see it just
Yeah.
because Harrison Ford's in it. Thunderbolts comes out in May.
Meh.
Thunderbolts trailer looked. They did a really good job with the
I haven't
trailer.
seen that either.
The only thing about the Thunderbolts is a bummer is like nobody cares about those.
Yeah,
villains.
I can't even name them.
It's Taskmaster. It's Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp, who's like a nothing character. It's Red Guardian from Black Widow. You know, and if they lean into like the ragtag, like nobody likes us, we're the C group from all the movies that Marvel people really like. Marvel fans really like.
Yeah,
There's a way that they can make that work. I really like Florence Pugh as the new Black Widow. Bucky's in it, and I
okay.
also really like John Walker, played by Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's boy.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
is that like dollar store Captain America?
Yeah, he's great.
He's great. But he becomes U.S. agent, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe he
forget-
becomes
actually,
he becomes his own thing. So
I
that
forgot
would be
about
cool.
all those characters from the movies,
Yeah.
dude.
Go check out the trailer for Thunderbolts. It's actually
Okay.
a pretty good trailer, dude. And I guarantee you, at some point, I would put so much money on it. Baron Zemo has to freaking show up in Thunderbolts at some point. So he's just kind of floating out there. We don't really know what happened to Baron Zemo after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I don't know.
Have you rewatched all those movies? Because it's been years for me, man. Also, this makes me want to start reading comics again,
Yeah.
which could be
I read
dangerous.
comics all the time. I love.
Do you?
I'm reading all of the timeline. I had got this guy put together all of the timeline from like the history of Marvel, but I'm following it from Civil War. I read every issue, every tie-in, every main storyline, everything from Civil War.
Wow.
And it was too much, but it was
That's
like
a
100
lot.
issues.
Yeah, it's a
It was
lot.
great though, dude. It was such a cool full experience. So now what I'm reading is like the stuff that happens after that, and it leads into, you know, stuff like Dark Reign and Secret Wars and Secret Invasion, and so it's great. I love it because it's a shotgun blast of like all these different characters. I just read the Matt Fraction run of The Order, which was something that I never knew anything about, and it was awesome, dude. If it honestly, dude, I would honestly advise, if you have an iPad, pay for the Marvel U subscription, dude. They've refined it a lot, and they put together reading orders and stuff. I don't follow them because I don't trust them, but for new stuff, like, you know, like I was reading the Spider-Man because it's part of this overall canon, Back in Black and One More Day, and it's freaking awesome because it's about basically Kingpin hires a guy to kill Peter Parker because it's after Civil War, and Tony Stark convinces him like, oh, you should be the face of the Superhero Registration Act, so you should reveal your secret identity. So he does. But then when he does that, everybody he loves in his life becomes vulnerable because they know they're connected to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So Kingpin hires a sniper to go and kill Peter Parker, and he misses and he hits Aunt May. And so
Oh,
Aunt May's
shit.
in this coma. And so Peter Parker puts on his black suit and just goes and wrecks shop. He becomes Punisher Spider-Man, where he's like, you know, I try to live by a moral code, and he hates Tony Stark because he blames Tony Stark for like, you convinced me to do all this, because he flips in Civil War to Cap's side because he realizes like Tony's become too like power hungry and all this. Dude, it's so good. But yeah, Marvel U, definitely, I could send you that reading list. It makes it so much easier.
I might jump on that because at least that's going to be cheaper than going to the store and buying.
It's
all
$10,
those
dude.
copies. Yeah.
It's $10, and it's like they're beautiful, and they, you know, everything is on there. So I would highly recommend. I mean, I'm not, you know, not a shill for Marvel comics, but
But you
they
could
do a good job with it. It could be. DC has a great one too. It's, you know, I love all comic books, and that's kind of been my nightly routine, is like to read comic books before bed and take down a couple issues, and it's fun. So
Nice,
all in
dude.
all, you know, am I boring you, dude, with your yawns?
That was really long, man. I don't know.
dude.
you
Dude,
lost me.
I'm cutting that yawn out, dude. That was so disrespectful.
You lost me after Taskmaster, dude. It's been Taskmaster. It's been like 45 minutes, man. Well, that was the show.
So I'm looking forward to it. We'll check it out. We'll obviously come back, I think, once that's done, once it comes out, and we can talk about it fully and see if our expectations lived up to what the movie actually was.
Yeah,
Anything else on Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I'm a little pissed because I've been kind of obsessed with Marvel Rivals, and they only have 2 characters in Marvel Rivals. They have Reed
They'll get Ben
Richards.
Grimm.
Dude, they recently there was a sneak peek of the characters they're going to be releasing soon, and they're releasing like the old school, I think like 90s cartoon X-Men characters, and that looks pretty fucking cool. But I was expecting
Jubilee?
I was expecting some Ben Grimm, and it's not in the cards, dude.
They'll have to. And I'm waiting for Ghost Rider.
Dude, Ghost Rider would be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Or
Dude,
MODOK.
I'm
Just a
bummed that
big
like
head.
Blade just fell apart. Like they had Marshall
Did it?
Ali.
Yeah,
that
I knew
was
that
gonna
they
come
were
back
talking
as
about
Blade, and it just has fallen apart, dude. They've gone through like 3 directors. Mia Goth was gonna be in it, and I love me some Mia Goth.
Me too. Who needs eyebrows?
Dude, you don't need eyebrow. Well, I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
Keep those to yourself, my man.
Dude, I love Maxine. You didn't like Maxine. I thought Maxine was awesome.
I loved all 3 movies. I did not like that other movie that she did. It wasn't part
Oh
of.
yeah, Infinity Pool.
Yeah, dude, such fucking. It was a shitty movie, and there's so many people that love it, and I don't get
There's some good scenes though. If you know what I'm
it.
saying.
It can get a little sexy, but it's not a good movie.
All right, man. Well, that's it. We'll put a pin in the Marvel stuff. I have something that I was gonna surprise you with. That I want to catch you off guard on.
Is it highlights of Infinity Pool? Because I'm in, dude. I'll
No, I'll send
lower
you
the
those
lights.
later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll do that off stream. I created a choose your own adventure,
Oh,
and I customized it just for you. I'd figured it would be something that you would enjoy,
okay.
and I'd love to see what choices you make.
Probably the
and
wrong choices, but I'm in.
Probably the wrong choices, but that's okay. So I don't know. Are you prepared to go down the rabbit hole? I said it in
I think
the
I
90s.
have some time.
This takes place in the 90s. We
Okay.
haven't really been going for 45 minutes, have we?
No, I was just kidding. I just yawn all the time. Get off my back, dude.
Yeah, you're a real piece of shit.
I'm a
All right.
yawner.
So this one is called Mall of Mysteries: A 90s Adventure.
Okay.
Let me set this up for you with an introduction.
All right. Different voice though.
It's 1997, and you're spending the day at Sunnydale Mall, the crown jewel of suburban shopping. With your friends, you plan to hit all the big stores: Toys R Us, Spencer's Gifts, Radio Shack, and the legendary The Gap. Little do you know, this isn't just a day of shopping. A strange event is about to unfold that will pull you into a mystery deep within the walls of the mall. Will you uncover secrets lurking beneath the surface? Or will you get caught in a whirlwind of 90s chaos?
Ooh, okay.
Which sounds, what I would give for some 90s chaos again.
Hold on. Did you say the infamous The Gap?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's infamous, sure.
Is it?
I
I
would
feel
say
like-
I would say the Gap, that was the Gap's heyday, dude, was the 90s.
Yeah, but were you ever a Gap kid? I feel like I didn't step foot into a Gap until I was like 30.
Dude, let me tell you this. Growing up in a house that was mainly my mom and my sister,
Yeah.
especially on shopping, like I was a Charlotte Russe man, I was a Gap man. All the lady stores, dude, I spent an inordinate amount of time in because I was the odd man out. And my sister was older than me, so she was a teenager when I was in elementary school.
You were middle class. I was lower class. We went to
I don't know
Payless.
that I would say. I don't know. I was probably lower middle class. Maybe not lower. I was in between lower and middle, strong middle class.
Yeah, I was a step above sleeping in a trash can.
All I'm saying is my family ate a lot at Hometown Buffet. Did your family eat a lot at Hometown Buffet?
No, but the trash can and stuff they threw away at the end of the night wasn't too
let me
bad.
rephrase that. We used to spend a lot of time going to Hometown Buffet, and my parents would make us take Tupperware with us,
Okay.
so that we could bring extras home.
Okay.
Hometown Buffet doesn't exist anymore, and it kind of makes me sad, dude.
No, yeah. Were you a Soup Plantation guy?
You know what? Sarah, my wife, loves Soup Plantation, but she loves. It was called something else. We're up in Fresno. It wasn't Soup Plantation.
Yeah, it was
It was Red Tomatoes.
Red Tomatoes.
That's what it
yeah,
was called.
I think they recently closed one out here, which I was sad because I didn't realize that there was even one.
They closed them all in Orange County. I like Red Tomatoes. I think Red Tomatoes, like, dude, a good salad. Like a
Yeah.
good salad that you can, like, and they had that shit pizza that they would pull out that tastes like cardboard. But
It would
whatever,
go
it's part of the
quick.
experience.
Yeah, it was Totitos style
Yeah.
pizza. Yeah.
That Jello cheesecake, dude.
Oh,
Ugh.
it was all about the muffins.
too.
I used to go and fill my hood with muffins and walk out.
Yeah. All right, so that's the introduction. You're in a mall in the 90s with your buds. You're
right.
contemplating, do I go in the Gap or not?
I do not go in the Gap. It's my first
So
choice.
let me read you part one, and then I'm going to give you options of what to choose, and I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
You and your group of friends enter the Sunnydale Mall through the large sliding glass doors, greeted by the familiar scent of pretzels and perfume. The hustle and bustle of the 90s are in full swing. People sporting flannel shirts, windbreakers, and chunky sneakers. Music blasts from Spencer's gift store, while Radio Shack offers the latest gadgets. Your friends suggest splitting up. One wants to head to Toys R Us, while another points out Spencer's Gifts, which has some crazy new items. Probably novelty rubber poop. You've got time, so you can 1. Head straight to Toys R Us to revisit your childhood. 2. Go to Spencer's Gifts to check out the weird novelties. Or 3. Venture to the Gap for some new fashion.
Spencer's all day, dude.
Spencer's. Okay.
Spencer's all day, straight to the adult section.
Okay. All right. You enter Spencer's Gifts, where the smell of incense fills the air. You spot a glowing crystal on a table, surrounded by strange figurines.
That's a butt plug for sure.
Well,
Okay. I'm
It
guessing.
pulses with a soft light, and something about it feels off. As you reach out to touch it, a jolt of energy shoots through your fingers, and the lights flicker. You can 1. Pick up the glowing crystal, or 2. Walk away and head toward the novelty T-shirts.
Pick it up.
All right. You sure about that?
I'm picking it up, dude.
You pick up the glowing crystal, and a voice echoes in your mind. The mall is not what it seems. Time is distorted here. That's certainly how malls felt in the 90s, dude.
Yeah.
You felt like you were going to live your life forever in a 90s mall.
Well, it's because there's no windows. So you walk in,
Yeah.
and there's no cell phone. So at that point, like, I didn't have a watch.
What mall were you going to? My mall is like if you went to
Buena Park,
the Brea
dude.
Mall or the Buena. Yeah, the Buena Park was desolate for sure. The Buena Park might have been the like Calico ghost freaking town of malls.
Yeah.
even
and
in the
you,
90s.
You always went downstairs. And I don't know why you didn't add this, but I would always straight line to the sword store.
Dude, the sword store. I would always go by
Dude.
the sword store because it was next to the. Remember the underground movie theater?
Mm-hmm.
I saw Krippendorf's Tribe there. I saw Home Alone 3 there. I saw I saw George of the Jungle there.
And the sword store at the Buena Park Mall was also right next to the collectibles store. So
Dude, it's
although
such a
KB
shame.
Toys was up top, I would
Yeah.
always go straight to swords, dude.
It's such a shame that malls got rid of their like in mall movie theaters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
of them.
Like
Which one did we go to see one of the Twilight movies? That's still there,
That's
right?
gone. That
Is
mall
it?
is completely gone.
Oh, shit.
It was leveled and it was like the ground was seated. Not just the theater, the entire mall was
Oh,
flattened.
man.
And I think now it's apartments. But there are
It's
some,
apartments.
like
Sorry,
if
off-
you go
off
to
task.
like like there's like the Cerritos Mall still has a theater in there. But I mean I don't mean like the big theaters. I mean the little shit theaters that like
that was like
were,
specifically for
on
that
the
mall.
first floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Buena Park Mall. All right, back to the story.
Okay, sorry.
You pick up the glowing crystal, and a voice echoes in your mind. Oh, suddenly the floor beneath you begins to shake, and you hear whispers coming from all directions. The crystal's power. A trapdoor opens under your feet, and you fall into an underground corridor.
Oh shit.
You can 1. Follow the mysterious corridor to see where it leads, or 2. Try to climb back up to the store above.
Well, there's no chance I'm going to climb up that. I can already tell that I can't. Technically, I've fallen into the Gap, so am I in the Gap store now?
No, you're in the underground corridor underneath Spencer's. So is that where you're going? You're going to follow where the corridor leads?
Journey on.
The corridor leads you into a dark underground lair filled with strange artifacts, broken arcade machines, and old electronics. In the center of the room is a giant glowing cube. As you approach the cube begins to pulse, and the voice in your head whispers, "Find the heart of the mall." So now you're left with 2 choices.
Okay.
You can touch the glowing cube to see what happens, or you can look for the heart of the mall in the lair.
I might peek around a little bit, just because the last time I touched something that was pulsating, it didn't work out too well.
Okay, so your
now I'm
choice
stuck in the
that
gap.
you're picking is that you are going to look for the heart of the mall in the lair.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around a little bit. Do I have?
Okay.
I guess this isn't like I can't come back to my choice, huh?
No, it's final.
I'm gonna touch it. Fuck it. I'm touching the cube. Also, do I
You
curse too much?
Yeah, you do, but that's okay.
Cool.
You touch the glowing cube. It instantly kills you and electrocutes you, stopping your heart. And that is how you die in the 90s mall.
Damn, game over?
You're dead. He killed you, dude.
Dude, it's like Boulder's Gate.
Do you want to do you want me to read what it would have been if you were looking for the heart of the mall?
Well, I guess that's kind of cheating. I don't think I earned
It's
it.
cheating, but we can get a glimpse into the alternate reality where you made the right choice.
Well, let's rewind. I want to look
Okay.
around for the heart of the mall.
Okay. You decide to expose the mall's secret world. The moment you speak the truth, the mall begins to collapse inward, pieces of 90s world shattering like glass. The mall has lost to time, but you've freed everyone trapped inside. The mystery is unraveled, and the mall is just a regular shopping center again. So ultimately, you ended up at the same place you started.
I was about to say, what? You really sold that other option to being a good one. I would have rather just died right
I
there.
didn't sell it. I said we can look and see what the other option would have been. I didn't know that it was going to be so lackluster.
That was... So you
Listen.
didn't make this?
Listen, you freed everybody at the mall. Who knows how long they've been trapped in there?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you could argue that being trapped in a mall is awesome.
what I did was I'm the one that ended all the malls in America.
Yeah,
I could have touched the cube, which I did. I could have touched the cube and died and forever lived with everyone else in the 90s mall and lived forever in that 90s dream. And then now they fucking turned it into CC's Pizza.
So really, if you're looking at like a master timeline, you preserve the master timeline because malls were always going to go to shit. They were never going to, in the age of the internet and like Amazon, there's no way a mall is going to thrive the way it did in the 90s. But if you would have gone into the secret, by going into the secret world, you were able to keep the main timeline going. If you touched the cube, you would have died and been stuck in that 90s mall. That would have been your purgatory.
And that
it
would have been the
created a new
dream, dude.
timeline. Yeah, I can see that. Damn. So anyway, that's the story. That's your story. That's what would have happened if you would have gone into this mysterious Sunnydale Mall and come out the other end. You should have gone to the Gap, dude. The Gap had orgies in it.
Did it?
You missed out on. Yeah, the Gap had orgies. It had concubines. It had plague, sure. You know, you would have
That's
gone
fine,
to
though. Yeah.
you would have gone to Wetzel's Pretzels and picked up a plague, but
I was a young man.
part of it.
Yeah.
You could overcome.
That was really like let me down, dude. I thought this was gonna be a little longer than that.
No, just I didn't want to keep. You know, I didn't want to exhaust.
Okay,
I
I didn't
exhaust
yawn.
it.
I'll tell you, I was excited and I did not yawn this time.
You were engaged.
I was
All right.
engaged.
All right, man. Well, I have one more thing, and I'm just going to read through it. I thought it was a funny fact
Okay.
about. I told you I'm reading through 1776. So this is just a little funny fact about. Do you know? Are you familiar with Benedict Arnold?
Know the name. I wish I knew more about history, but it kind of goes in one ear out the other.
You're ignorant. It's fine.
I
That's why
not
I'm
by
here.
choice though. I love history.
So Benedict Arnold was a turncoat. He basically turned on the American revolutionaries, and he jerked off the crown and King George.
shit.
He changed alliances, right?
Yeah.
But this is a fun fact about Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold once had a bit of a pants situation during the American Revolution. In 1780, Arnold was in command of the fort at West Point, which was a key strategic position. He had secretly agreed to betray the American cause and surrender the fort to the British. But before the plan could unfold, Arnold found himself in a very precarious and embarrassing situation. During a meeting with the British Major John Andre, who was also in on the plan, Arnold had a major nervous breakdown. His stress over the impending betrayal and the tension of the moment got to him so much that he literally pooped in his pants. According to some historical accounts, Arnold was so rattled and sweaty that it was noticeable. So he was sweating poop out of his pants.
Been there.
And it's been suggested that his accident may have been one of the signs that he was on the edge during the whole conspiracy. Yeah, I mean, if you crap your pants when you're betraying a rebellion, it's going to be obvious. It's
They
like,
can
you know,
sniff
giving-
you out at that point.
It's like, you know, turning code on the mob and going to work for the FBI, and you walk in with a you know, a microphone, a wire, and you just talk directly into the wire. That's the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Ironically, this is a guy who would go down to be known for his treasonous actions. But before that, he was just a man in distress getting caught up in a historical plot while also trying to manage his bodily functions. It's a weird, humanizing little tidbit to add to the legend of Benedict Arnold, and I bet your podcast audience would get a good laugh out of that. That's it. You know what it reminded me of is Biden
this
taking
bullshit?
a dump. You know what? It's history. You know,
Dude.
you could argue history's bullshit.
I'm
Do
not
your own
gonna
research.
I'm not gonna lie. After that Santa Claus episode that we did, the Santa Claus, I don't trust shit that you say anymore, dude.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't trust me. You should do your own research. You should find out if Benedict Arnold actually pooped his pants or if it's just made up. But I will tell you that our last president crapped his pants in front of the Pope and in front of the King of England, to the point that the King of England's wife made a comment that he pooped his pants. She knew, dude. She knew that he was. So in some ways, like, history repeats itself, right? Like, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah,
In
and
our
or if you
case-
turn on your fucking people, you're gonna shit your pants.
Well, and in Biden's case, like, he didn't even turn. Well, you could argue he didn't turn on his people, but he was just hanging out, dude. Can you imagine, dude? Like, you're meeting the king, and all of a sudden you just hear.
And the thing with her is she wasn't sure if her husband did it or Biden, dude.
Yeah, I mean, who? I would believe both of them, but
Yeah.
the British would have at least enough decency not to smell up the entire room. They'd lay one of those, like, they'd poop their pants in a classy way. You know what I mean?
The gold
And then they
plating would
colonize
hide.
you.
Yeah. Do you think Biden shit his pants?
I absolutely think Biden shit his pants more than once. I think it was probably like, listen, we're going to get books in the next 10 years
It's gonna be
that
insane.
reveal what really happened during the Biden administration, and it's going to be delicious. All right, man. That's all I got this week. I don't know if you have anything to add. I feel like we covered everything. Fantastic Four, pooping in your pants, and getting trapped in the mall in the 90s, which is everybody's dream. So, you know, come back for more next week. We'll have more fun facts. We'll have more. Maybe we'll do another Choose Your Own Adventure. You know what I mean? If you're looking for a Choose Your Own Adventure that's more in depth, we can go there, my man.
I'm in for a longer one. I'm also in.
Okay.
I'm also in to stream some Marvel Rivals.
Let's do that. Let's also. I was
love
going
to.
to see. I don't know if you're going to bed early tonight, but what we could do, and we'll talk about this off stream. So if this stream happens, you'll know it, and if it doesn't, you'll know that Vince went to bed. We can stream some Unsolved Mysteries, dude, and watch some Unsolved Mysteries.
Well, I think we'd have to switch to Twitch for that.
Switch on over to Twitch. What's our name on Twitch, Vince? Shout it out.
I think it's currently the Brown Twins. Because I messed
The
up
Brown
on that name. Maybe it's been 3 months. Maybe we can change it back.
PROTWNS. I think it has. It's been since November, I believe. So we're probably coming right up off it.
What are you doing Friday?
I'm hanging out. We're streaming.
You want to stream and do some Unsolved Mysteries and some
Let's do some Unsolved
Rives?
Mysteries and do some Rivals. We'll do Rivals on YouTube, though, so we
Dude,
get
I'm
the credits.
going to get a 6-pack
Do it.
and I'm going to get wasted.
Mail me some gummies, dude. Let's go.
All right, sold. All right, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.